This is a brief tutorial over the heat risk. So the first thing we'll want to do is we're going to look at the weather.gov/LBF/ to get to our homepage. Once you're on our homepage, you're going to hover over that forecast, go down to where it says experimental heat risk, and then click on that. It'll bring you to a page that looks like this. So the first thing we're going to look at is just the overview. So we'll click on that tab for the overview, and we can bring up that PDF file there. And so it's just going to give you a brief overview of what the heat risk is. So this is kind of looking at heat-related impacts over the next 24-hour period. This heat risk is serving as another tool that we can use to look at how the heat may affect those heat vulnerable individuals. And so you can look at the next paragraph here, or next section, I should say, that it'll have who is most susceptible to the heat. And you can see different groups that may be more susceptible to heat. And then when we go down to the next section, you may have heard of heat index, the wet bulb globe temperature, and then of course our other National Weather Service heat products. So you can just look here and see what the difference is between each of those products. The biggest difference is going to be in that second paragraph. You can read between the heat risk and other products is that the heat risk is kind of looking at unusual heat, and it's taking into account the acclimation or how we've become used to the heat threshold, and looking at that along with incorporating heat health data from the CDC to kind of influence our local thresholds for that. And like I said, you can scroll down and look at the different other products that we have available and kind of look at the differences between each of those products. And then we'll go ahead and close that out. And then we'll go back to where it says map. We'll click on the map there. And on here, you can see that we have the next 7 days that you can look at the forecast. So you can click on any of these dates here. And you'll see, as we go through the week, the colors are changing on there as well. Now, let's just say we don't like this zoomed in version of the map. You can use these buttons here to either zoom out, or you can use your mouse to scroll out of there as well to look at whatever location you may be interested in. Okay, so then we're going to take a look at the left side here, and you can see that this is a legend, and this is going to tell us what each of the colors mean for the risk of heat-related impacts. Your yellow is your minor, so that's going to be the individuals who are extremely sensitive, and then as we start going up, you'll in the colors, you start to get into the moderate, the major, and then the extreme cases. And it'll give you a brief description of what each of those heat-related impacts are. But if we want to know a little bit more information, once we know what color we're looking at, we can go into the Understanding Heat Risk tab. And you'll click on this. You can scroll down and you can see the different heat risk meanings, who's at risk, how common is the heat, and for those at risk, what actions can be taken. And this will be for each of the different colors. Just looking at the purple one here, this is a rare level of heat that leads to an extreme risk for an entire population. You can see that this is rare for most locations. And then again, your last column is what you should do should you be in one of these risk categories, what activities you should stay away from, or how you can reduce your risk to the heat. The last couple things I want to show you, we can take a look on these last tabs here. This is the CDC. So you can look at how the CDC and the National Weather Service went and collaborated and what they've looked at. So you can kind of see how this all impacts the heat risk. And then if we want to look at additional information, you can go on this tab here looking for resources. And on here, you can get a little bit more information. If you want to look at the CDC's heat risk dashboard, you can look at our National Weather Service Beat the Heat resources. So you can find information on heat there. And there's just a lot of good information on this last link. And then if you need it to be in Spanish, you can click on this link here, and this will take you to the Spanish version. And you can go back to the English. And then for those of you who might want to bookmark this, you can just click on the bookmark here, and that'll bookmark the link for you. And that's all we have for this. So thanks for listening.